CBS News senior political analyst and 60 Minutes correspondent John Dickerson joins us now. John, good morning to you. Listen, we're going to spend a lot of time in the next 24 hours talking about how did we get here as a country. This is going to be one of those days that you will always remember where you were and what you were doing as you sat and watched it. But I have another question. Who are we, John, as a people? We watched police officers taking selfies, and don't call them protesters, with these rioters. We saw police opening barricades for these people to come through. Who are we and how did we get here?
Well, who are we as a country will be determined in the coming days and in the ways in which people respond to this. There's an opportunity for leadership here, just as there's been an opportunity at crisis moments over the last many years in this country. And so people who are in leadership need to step up. But we'll see if they do. There have been a lot of people who have not stepped up, and that's part of the reason we are where we are. The president is the obviously most recent actor who inspired these events. He fed his supporters lies for months. He called them to Washington. His son and Rudy Giuliani whipped them up, and then the president said, go march down to the Capitol and don't be weak. But the members of the president's party who watched all of this for years and made excuses for the president's behavior, who watched traditions and norms be eroded, who watched the very nature of truth be assaulted, bear responsibility for this as well. And as they see the president continue to lie about what happened in the election and say nothing, they're committing the same mistake they did. You'll remember on Election Day, Gail, when you and I were together, and I used that weird phrase about burning the furniture of democracy. What I was trying to say is if you allow the idea that the president was pushing, which is that the proper election process was somehow sinister, if you allow that to fester, what will happen is you will end up destroying the thing that the entire democracy relies on. Yep. Well, 2 months later, that's what we saw yesterday.
John, we're still in a very tentative position, though, because President Trump has 14 days still in the White House. He's incited a riot. He reportedly resisted calling in the National Guard. He hasn't condemned the violence. He's still, even though he says he's committed to an orderly transition, is spewing lies about an election he lost, and it wasn't even close. So what do you do in these 14 days to keep order in the country?
Well, it's an excellent question, and there's obviously the reporting about the 25th Amendment and invoking that and basically stripping his power from him. But I'm not sure. It's a delicate remaining 14 days, and people in leadership need to constantly send a message of unity and calm. But the president, even though he's saying he's committed to a peaceful transfer of power, when he continues to put the thorn in the shoe by saying the election was stolen and not having someone stand up and say that is a lie, you're leaving the basis. The poison is still there.
John Dickerson, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We have more to come.